There we go. Okay. Hello, Sarah. My name's Miss Jackie. I'll be your social worker today. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think you're doing? One is like kind of the worst day ever. 10, whoo, you're on cloud nine. What would you say?
Um, Probably like a four.
Okay, a four. So why not a five? What keeps you at a four today?
Well, I feel like every day kind of is low. I can't remember the last time I can think about having a day that was higher than a five.
Okay.
It's just hard for me to think about anything, honestly, other than just what has happened to me, and it's just like in the back of my head all the time, so I feel like I can't really enjoy anything.
Okay. So looking at some of your intake paperwork, it looks like you have a lot of anxiety, maybe fear. Um, it did say that there was some disability maybe and maybe some eating issues. Does that sound right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go through a bunch of questions and it might feel like hmm, you're being questioned to death. So if you need a break and you need to like a timeout from questions, we can do that. So you'll just let me know if you need to stop. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So tell me a few things about you, Sarah. What do you enjoy doing? What are some things that are enjoyable for you?
Um, well, I think for me, painting is a big thing. I don't remember what it's called, but there are these like little bead things and you like put the beads in the certain numbers and kind of anything that occupies my mind. Um, like for something that I don't like I feel like I can't really watch TV because it just reminds me of like I just get triggered too easily. So I think for me, like things that I like to do are just like hands-on and where my brain has to be like completely focused.
Okay. All right. So if I had to say to you, what is your ideal awesome day? What would that look like for you?
Um, it's a hard one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my ideal awesome day, I would wake up and my body would feel good. I wouldn't feel tired or weak. I would um, maybe cook an egg and eat it. I would call my brother and talk to him for a while. Um, I feel like it would just be a simple ideal day for me, just like being able to do the basic things that I feel like I should be able to do without just being constantly triggered and reminded of like being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. So are there any things, Sarah, that you would like to learn about? Any new things? Any new things you want to learn?
Um, I mean, I'm open to anything. When you say learn, do you mean like hobbies or do you mean what do you mean by learn?
So it could be hobbies. It could be it could be other things. Maybe you just want to learn how to do something new. Maybe you want to learn to change your oil. I mean, whatever you want to learn.
Okay. I think maybe I feel like I've become very isolated the past couple years. I feel like just learning to be a friend again or having a friend, like learning what it's like to have a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay, so when we're talking about goals, um, how will you know if meeting here today was successful? What would you consider a successful first meeting? What would you want to get out of this session?
I think for me it would just be feeling a little bit better than I did before we started. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't expect like a miracle of like me talking to you and I'm fixed, but I don't know, just I feel like having some type of like guidance or maybe a couple steps that I can take to move towards the bigger goal of just being able to function again.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So when problems come up in your life, I want you to think about a problem that up, like even in the last month, and then how did you solve it? How did you work through it? What did you do?
Okay. So for me, a big thing that I struggle with is eating. I am diagnosed anorexic. And I feel as though I can't eat, not because I don't want to, but because I'm having like really bad stomach pain anytime that I do. And I almost got I almost had to go to like a into hospitalization because I wasn't eating anything because I was my stomach was hurting too bad and I didn't want to eat. And um, one thing that I was able to do was think of like a safe food that didn't bother me that much. And I mean, I didn't eat a lot of it, but I was able to get something down.
Mhm. Okay. So what would a safe food be for you, Sarah?
Um, Eggs, that's one thing. Um, a lot of my a lot of things just I just don't feel good after I eat them. So if
Hmm.
it's like bland and then it's okay, but so
Hmm.
like saltines or broth, um,
Hmm.
those kind of things.
Okay. That's good. All right. Oh, just to congratulate you. So I noticed in your paperwork that you have been sober for 3 months. So that is great news because sometimes that's a tough road, right? So, what helped
Yeah.
you stay
Yeah.
sober for the last 3 months? What was helpful for you?
A big thing is I was hospitalized. So that did take away so that I couldn't drink. But then
Hmm.
afterwards, I kind of I really want to get my life on track. Like I want to be okay. Um I have a son and a daughter. My daughter has 3 kids. Um and I love them. I want to be with them. I want to see them and it just I think that's a part that's really motivating me to stay sober and um I do fear that I might relapse, but um I don't know, just having those steps in place to kind of
Hmm.
have someone to call. Like I'll call my brother whenever I'm not
Okay.
feeling too good or that I might want to drink more. And I feel like whatever he says, I'm like more likely to do it.
Is your brother kind of like your sponsor? When you talk to your brother, is he
Kind of, yeah.
okay?
I mean, not technically, but he's
Hmm.
been there for me since I was young.
Hmm.
I whenever I was my dad would come in my room, my brother would
Hmm.
sleep in my room some nights so that my
Hmm.
dad wouldn't come in. So it's just I feel safe with him and I
Hmm.
feel like whatever he says, I'll do it.
That's good that you have some supportive family members, right? And these grandkids, you have to stay
Hmm.
sober for the grandkids, right? That's important.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
motivator
yeah,
for sure. Okay,
yeah.
so I do have a few questions. So these questions, this is a special scale or screening, and what it will tell me is like specifically certain things that bother you just to see where we need to focus our treatment plan goals. Okay. So on these
Okay.
questions, there are 20 questions, and then you'll have not at all, a little bit, moderate, quite a bit, and extremely. So there's like 5 different levels. Okay.
Okay.
Right. The first one is, so think about this is over the last month. In the last month, how
Okay.
much were you bothered by repeated, disturbing, and unwanted memories of the stressful experience?
Which one did you say is the most? What's it
The
called?
most would be 4, and that's extremely.
Okay, extremely.
Okay. The next one, repeated disturbing dreams of the stressful experience. So the first one was unwanted memories, and the second one here is dreams about over and over again about this experience.
Extremely.
Okay. The next one, suddenly feeling or acting as if the stressful experience were actually happening again, as if you were actually back there reliving it.
I would say like sometimes.
Okay. Feeling very upset when something reminded you of the stressful experience.
Um, I feel like I'm upset all the time, so maybe not extremely, the one under that.
Like quite a bit.
Yeah,
Okay. Having strong physical reactions when something reminded you of the stressful experience. For example, your heart's pounding, you have trouble breathing, or you're sweating a lot. So that
quite a
physical
bit.
reaction, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is avoiding memories, thoughts, or feelings related to the stressful experience.
Um, quite a bit.
Okay. The next one, avoiding external reminders of the stressful experience. For example, people, places, conversations, activities, anything that might remind you of it.
Um, quite a bit.
Okay. Trouble remembering important parts of the stressful experience.
Um, do you mean like about the things that had
Yeah, like the
happened?
details. Yeah, like the details.
Um, I would say like middle.
Okay. Um, Having strong negative beliefs about yourself, other people, or the world. For example, having thoughts such as, I am bad, there is something seriously wrong with me, no one can be trusted, the world is completely dangerous.
Probably the middle again.
Okay. Blaming yourself or someone else for the stressful experience or what happened after it.
Um, quite a bit.
Okay. Having strong negative feelings such as fear, horror, anger, guilt, or shame.
Extremely.
Okay. Loss of interest in activities that you used to enjoy.
Extreme.
Feeling distant or cut off from other people.
Um, quite a bit.
Mhm. Trouble experiencing positive feelings, for example, being unable to feel happiness or have loving feelings for people that were close to you. Do you have trouble
Um,
with that?
I would say the middle for that one.
Okay.
It's harder towards myself, but towards my family, yeah, I
Okay.
still feel
Enable, oh, sorry, irritable behavior, angry outbursts, or acting aggressively.
not at all.
Okay. Taking too many risks or doing things that could cause you harm.
Mm, not really.
Being super alert or watchful or on guard.
I would say quite a bit for that.
Okay. Feeling jumpy or easily startled.
Quite a bit.
Hmm? Having difficulty concentrating.
Same, quite a bit.
Okay. And trouble falling or staying asleep.
Extremely.
That's a tough one for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, so I'm gonna look at all these and start working on a treatment plan. We can talk about it next time. But what I want you to do for homework, so I'm going to give you I'm going to pretend I'm giving you a piece of paper. And on this paper, we're going to have 5 columns. The first column is going to be what happened and where were you and who was there. So there's like a situation. And then the next column is going to be what emotion you felt when you were in that situation. And then the next column is going to be your automatic thoughts, like what ran through your mind, or what were you saying in your mind? Then your behavior, what did you do or avoid doing? And then your alternative thought, what is another way you can look at this situation? So, like an example of this would be, I skipped lunch again and felt anxious. Okay, so you didn't eat lunch this day. And then an example of an emotion would
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're feeling shame or fear or sadness or whatever you felt. And then an automatic thought would be, I don't deserve to eat. Okay. And then an example of a behavior would be skipping the meal. Maybe you isolated yourself in the bedroom or another room in the house. But an alternative thought would
Okay.
be, my body deserves nourishment, right? To function, we have to have a certain amount of nutrients. This is the trauma in my body talking, right? It's not the truth. So it's kind of reframing your idea. So I'm going to give you this paper. You take it home and just maybe think of 3 incidences over the next week, situations where you can kind of write down what they were, how you felt, how you reacted. Okay. And then we'll work on your
Okay.
treatment plan next time. Sarah, do you have any
Okay.
questions for me or anything else?
I think you covered everything. I'll be sure to try and do that homework.
Okay.
Is there like a right and wrong answer for it or
Absolutely not. No right or wrong answers, right? So you're all
okay.
good. I hope you have a good week,
Okay.
Sarah. It was good chatting with you. All
Thank
right.
you. You
See
too.
you later.
See ya.
Now I need to end this, right? So